You will need 3 palm-size or slightly smaller balls. We will start with 1 ball and then move on to 2, and then eventually move to 3. Juggling is a skill you will never forget and can help practice your hand-eye coordination. You will start by picking up one of the 3 juggling balls you have acquired and toss it at eye level. You will do this with one hand and one hand only until you are comfortable with it. Then, once you are comfortable, move on to the next hand and do the same. Once you have mastered tossing the ball in one hand at eye level, you can toss the ball from one hand to another. This will be the tossing motion you use in the 2-ball juggle and also the 3-ball juggle. Before moving on to the next step, I recommend you become extremely comfortable with tossing the ball from one hand to another in that path. You can now move on to step 3. This is where you add the second ball. Start with 1 ball in each hand. Throw the one in your dominant hand, and when it reaches eye level, toss the other ball underneath the previous, then catch both. Do this until you are good enough to do it without much thought. Once you've mastered the 2-ball juggle, you are now ready to add the third and final ball. You will start with 2 balls in your dominant hand and 1 in the other. You will need to throw one of the 2 balls in your dominant hand on the same path as the 2-ball juggle and the 1-ball juggle. Once again, as it reaches eye level, toss the ball in your other hand. Once this ball reaches eye level, throw the third and catch the first in your less dominant hand, then the second with your dominant hand, and finally the third with your less dominant hand. At the end of this step, you should have every ball in a different hand than when you started out with. This step will be a compilation of everything you've done in the last few steps, or better yet, a continuation of the last step. After you've thrown and caught the first ball, when the third ball reaches its peak at eye level, toss the first yet again. Then, when the first reaches its peak, throw the second. Then, again, when the second reaches its peak, toss the third. All that's left to do now is continue tossing the balls as soon as the previous one reaches its peak. You are now juggling.